Well, welcome. Thank you for joining me. This is Module 1 of Brilliant Customer Service. And I'm going to start with the main idea. Can we be as bold as to make excellent customer service our habit? Aristotle says, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Being perfectly professional when you feel like it, or on occasion, is simply not good enough. We all must be focused professionals 100% of the time. The first exercises are going to be reflective practice and are substantial. We're going to build a base from which you can build the journey itself. But I'd like to start with a definition. Who is our customer? And our working definition is quite simple. Anybody for whom you provide a service. Conventionally, customers are external to our organization, but of course we have internal customers as well. So managers, you have internal customers, the people who report to you. Workers, whoever you are, you have your manager. He or she is your customer. Your boss is your customer, as well as your conventional customers, of course. In particular, what do we expect of our customer-facing people? And what is our relationship with them? And what we're going to call them to begin with. I'm going to call them Customer Service Representatives, CSRs. You will know them as salespeople, as consultants, as partners, as servers, as associates. There are lots of different names. But CSRs is where we're working with. Why is brilliant customer service so important? Well, in a world where we can buy anything from anyone at any time, we need to differentiate our organization from the competition. It's as simple as that. Differentiation, particularly in levels of service offered, is a way of maintaining profitability through retention. It's often a race to the bottom, and we've got to be very careful about avoiding this. And so my friend John Ruskin has something very important to say again, going back into history. This is 150 years ago, but Ruskin said this: it's unwise to pay too much, but it's worse to pay too little. When you pay too much, you lose a little money. That's all. When you pay too little, you sometimes lose everything, because the thing you bought was incapable of doing the thing you bought it to do. The common law of business balance prohibits paying a little and getting a lot. It can't be done. If you deal with the lowest bidder, it's as well to add something for the risk you run. And if you do that, you'll have enough to pay for something better. Ruskin is saying that the race to the bottom is no good for any of us, and it's no good at all for any organization which hopes to make a profit. So where we can differentiate, we must differentiate. And one of the main reasons that customer service is so valuable is that's one of the areas where differentiation can take place. People buy the person, not necessarily the service, not necessarily the goods. So what does brilliant customer service do for us? Well, it does many things. It can transform our attitude towards our business. It energizes our staff, increases our sales. It can develop our relationship with our customers, both internal and external. And how do we do it? The basics. This is where we start from. We ask ourselves a number of questions to begin with. The first one: how can we better understand our product and the role of great service in enhancing it? Next, how do we seek the support of senior management to back us up in the changes that we propose to make? And how can we free everyone to express a new culture of brilliant customer service? That's where we're going. It's going to take some risk. Our CSRs need to be able to trust these new initiatives. What happens, for example, if something goes wrong? Well, we're going to look at that in some detail. Let's develop a strategy towards a future state. First of all, let's think more carefully about our product and ask, what do we really offer that is so worthwhile? I mean, if you don't know, who does? In our new customer service approach, what are we going to do differently? Give some thought to that as I send you on to our preliminary assignments for Module 1. The following two exercises are for you to get a feel of your current situation. Involve as many people as you possibly can, seek opinions from every level of the organisation, and it is quite a demanding assignment to begin with, but you'll understand how it forms a basis for future work. My suggestion is, this reminder, that you screenshot or photograph the complete assignment pages. Okay, let's have a look. First of all, I'd like you to take a temperature of your current service levels. What are you doing? How well are you doing it? Do you notice your frontline staff making themselves available for customers, or are they reluctant? Do you see genuine smiles on the face of your staff? Are your absentee rates high or low? Is staff timekeeping good or bad? Are there many grievances raised? Do you have too many complaints, both from your staff and from your customers? Do you know how much repeat business you enjoy? It may be, you see, that you want to shift things, and if you do want to shift things, how might you want to do that? I'm going to suggest a couple of ways you might. For example, on assignment number 2, you might want to go online and research what's called position mapping. I've put up on here what's called a position map. It shows different motor vehicles in terms of high price and high value, as opposed to low price and low value, or as seen by us, low quality and high quality. In the top right-hand corner of this diagram, you'll see high quality and high price. And of course, Mercedes and Porsche and various cars of that nature will find themselves there. At what you'd call the lower end of the market, where lower price and lower quality appears, it might be that your organization is there. It may be that you want to be somewhere different, and that you wish to change where you are located on a position map, move your position. It doesn't have to be high price and quality. There are other factors that you might wish to consider. Let me give you some. You might wish to consider your position versus your competitors in terms of your brand awareness. How aware are they of what you do as opposed to your competitors? Delivery times that you offer, your value for money, any guarantees that you have, any faults that you need to repair, any complaints you receive, any innovation that you're involved in, the style of your organization, the quality of your customer service. You see, there are many, many areas which you could explore further. In this assignment number 2, we hope that you would spend 1 or 2 hours researching and collecting the necessary information to make this into a very worthwhile piece of work. So collect criteria that best suit your organization, and then rate yourself and your company against your competitors. Where do you stand? Where are you performing better than them? Where are you performing less well than they are? And set a target, your first target, to develop some kind of momentum. Choose an area where you are almost as successful as your competitor, and then find out ways that you can work towards outperforming them. Take, for example, delivery. If your response to a request for delivery can be speeded up just that amount so that you are now better at delivering than your competitor, you've started some momentum going. You can start looking at other criteria and build up from that. The first target, when achieved, will be your motivation to continue. I think that even at Module 1, I need to give you a health warning. You must give this program a chance to succeed. This is e-learning, and it's all too easy to skip over the previous 2 pages. But to be successful, that information is vital. And if that course is going to work for you, you've got to complete all of it. And that includes the tough stuff. And frankly, if you're like me, you may well have glanced at the previous exercise, maybe thought a little about it, and then moved on. That's not good enough. We've really got to commit ourselves. Collect information, data, metrics, anything that will allow you to make informed choices about the content of the course. The first 2 exercises ask you to collect as much of this information as you can, and now involve your colleagues. Collect, keep the results of your research, use them in the subsequent models that I give you to test their relevance, and then build a collection of reference points. Put in place some metrics now, measures of performance against any criteria you choose. Try to quantify your perceptions in numerical terms, if you will. How many? How often? How does this compare to other organisations? You don't know? Well, find out, because this is going to be really important. Take some time to measure yourself against the competition. And when you've done that, you will have completed the assignments. You can move on to Module 2, and I'll see you there. Thank you.